Hello people. Welcome once again to Driving with Friday. I promised last time that we're going to be talking about something very important today. How to create multiple streams of income. Let me switch off my radio. Today my radio seems to be working. Oh. Creating multiple streams of income. And I did mention last time that every person, no matter who you are, is entitled to at least one time in life take a rest from all his labors, all her labors, and rest from things like bills, all kinds of stresses. Every person is entitled. But you know that entitlement is not by default. It won't come for free. You've got to do it yourself. You have to create that entitlement yourself. And the only way you're going to create that is when you've managed the skill of creating multiple streams of income for yourself. And what do I mean by that? I think I gave an illustration last time. I said, think of your income as a river that is full of water, and it's flowing, and it has different streams pouring into it. Now those streams are your multiple streams of income. Now some streams are pouring on a daily basis. Others will be pouring on a monthly basis, others on a quarterly basis, annual basis, and so on. But the whole idea is that it must be a stream. And a stream, by definition, is something that is consistent and continuous. So if your income comes today and you're expecting it next month, it doesn't come. It comes the other month, and after 2 months, what I mean is, if it's not consistent, it does not qualify as a stream. A stream must be consistent. If it comes every day, it must come every day. If it comes every month, it must come every month. If it comes every quarter or every year, it must come in that frequency, in that order. Once you've got a river, and it's got a source, that source of the river will keep pouring, giving you, gushing out the water on a daily basis. Then it qualifies to be called a stream. The same concept goes with your stream of income. So your stream of income must have these two qualities: consistent and continuous. Otherwise, it's not a stream. So, as a start, I would like to give you an assignment. How's about that? An assignment. Go home. If you're at home, pick up a pencil, a pen, and a paper, and write down all your streams of income, all your sources of income. Whether your income comes from a job, comes from business, trading, whatever. Write down all your sources of income. And let's meet tomorrow. Welcome back. Did you do my assignment? Did you write down your sources of income? Your streams of income? So number one, using the definition that we had earlier, it must be consistent and continuous. Are the sources of income that you wrote down consistent with that definition? Are they streams, or they are what I might probably call buckets? Instead of being a stream of income, it's a bucket of income. I know it must have been an interesting exercise if you did it, because for some you discover that you probably have only one source of income, maybe your job and nothing else. Others maybe 2, others maybe 0, and there's a lot that have 0 or 1. So what I would like to say is it's very, very critical and very important that you establish at least one primary source of income. Whether it's going to be your job, it's going to come from your job, or from your business, trading, you need to have at least one primary source of income that is flowing on a monthly basis. The reason is so you can take care of your bills. Everybody's got bills to take care of in a month. And you need to be able to take care of your bills if you have children, if you have a home that you're looking after. So make sure you have at least one primary source of income. Now I say that because I've talked to a number of colleagues who have come up with ideas, brilliant ideas, but ideas that have not been tested, ideas that are just ideas. They look brilliant on paper, and most ideas look brilliant on paper until you put them on the ground. And these colleagues of mine have run with their ideas, quit their jobs, and then started suffering because there was no longer any income to support their families. Most of the principles that I talk about and that I bring to this forum, I get from a book. It's actually a collection of books, 66 books. It's called a Bible. Now, most people shun the Bible because they think it's just a religious book. I'd like you to know that if you take the Bible as a religious book, you will throw it away and throw a whole lot of knowledge. Most of the books that I have read are derivatives of this very important book called the Bible. It consists 66 books actually, written over a long period of time that have been interconnected and related in history, events. It outlines the history of people, creation, genealogies, prophecies, and hidden behind these histories and stories are principles and keys and secrets. I'm sure you've read a book called The Secret before. There was so much buzz around that book, The Secret, and it was written by Rhonda Bryan, I think. But what they called The Secret wasn't really a secret. They read a script from the Bible, because the entire book is based on the fact that once you pick your mind and concentrate it on something, you can actually create things from thoughts. You can create things from words. And if you read the Bible, you find that those are the exact words of Jesus Christ. One day Jesus was going with his disciples to a certain village, and they at a distance saw a fig tree and decided to go near to pick some figs. Unfortunately, there were no fruits. So Jesus cursed the tree. That's Jesus' attitude. He cursed the tree. So the following day, when they passed through the same path, the disciples remembered the tree that Jesus cursed. And they noticed that the tree had dried up from the roots to the leaves. And they said, "Look, Master, the tree that you cursed." And he told them and said, "Have the faith of God," or the God kind of faith. And he went on to illustrate what the God kind of faith was or is. And he said, "Whosoever shall say to this mountain, be removed from there and be cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he says shall come to pass, he will have whatsoever he says." And that is where they picked up and wrote the book, The Secret. So you discover that it's principles from this book. So why am I talking about picking principles from this book? Because everything I talk about is principles from this book. There's another script from Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 6. It says that during the day, in the morning, sow your seed. And in the evening, do not let your hands be idle. Because you do not know which one is going to prosper, whether this or that, or whether both of them are going to prosper. In other words, in the morning, go to your job. Maintain your job, your primary job, if you have a job. In the evening, start another business. Do not let your hand be idle. That is the foundation of creating multiple streams of income. There is a principle in the Bible that you don't need to stick to one job. And this is a reason for making multiple streams of income. It is dangerous to rely and put your life on one stream. What happens if that stream is cut? And I've heard about a lot of people that have gone into depression once their jobs were gone. They were declared redundant. They didn't have anything else to do. They didn't have any other sources of income. And because of the bills and the stress that comes from lack of money, you cannot run away from that. People tend to go into depression and die quicker than they were supposed to. So this is why I say this is a very important topic. Because if you had 2 or 3 or 4 streams of income, once one is cut, you still have a flow and you can attend to your bills. You have no stress. So it's critical for that matter. So how do you create multiple streams of income? Firstly, for money to exchange hands, there must be a trading going on, a business going on. Money does not exchange hands if there is no exchange of value. Some people define business as the way to make money. I do not define business that way. I define business as the ability to create value that somebody else needs. If you have the ability to create value that somebody else needs, you have a business. So again, I already told you that I pick my principles from this book called the Bible. It's my favorite book. You need to read it. The book of beginnings, Genesis chapter 1. If you read verse 28, it says that, and God blessed them. It's talking about Mr. and Mrs. Adam. He said, and God blessed them and said, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it, and then you will have dominion. 5 words that I've picked up from there. And I like to pick those words from there and apply them to business. Number 1, be fruitful. Number 2, multiply. Number 3, replenish. Number 4, subdue. Number 5, then you will have dominion. Very, very important words that you pick from there. So let's start from the first one. Be fruitful. What does it mean to be fruitful? Look, if you're going to have a stream of income, if you're going to have a business that generates and brings money flowing into your direction, you need a product, you need a fruit, you need a service. And that service must have value, because money does not exchange hands if there is no value. If the person who has money does not see value in what you have, the money will not move. If that money moves, that's what we call corruption. Corruption moves money when there is no value. Real business is dependent on value. There's a lot of traffic in front of me, literally moving at 0 kilometers per hour. But anyway, so number 1, you need to have a fruit, you need to have a product. Come up with a product